Good evening, family. Welcome to the front lines. Today, we have to talk about the sheer, unadulterated audacity of the political elite. Actually, we need to talk about the audacity of a certain member of the political elite, that member being Curry Kamala Harris herself. Today, Kamala Harris stood up at the National Action Network convention and told the world that she's thinking about a presidential run in 2028, as if getting her ass shellacked by Donald Trump once in one of the most one sided or lopsided defeats in the history of the presidency wasn't enough. Thinking about it, it hasn't even been 2 years since the American people gave her a definitive no. We watched the 2025 campaign go up in flames right in front of our eyes. $1 billion raised and $1 billion burned of donor cash that left nothing but a mountain of debt and a fractured party. As the old saying goes, a fool and his money are soon parted. But in Kamala's case, it was $1 billion of your hopes and dreams traded for a third place finish in history. This woman has to be absolutely out of her mind. And let's look back at the track record she wants to bring back. This is the same lady who Biden appointed to be the border czar, right? Who watched as the sovereignty of America was tossed aside like a dirty rag in an auto shop and simply became a suggestion. Maybe we'll honor the sovereignty of America, or maybe we won't, turning every town into a border town. While she laughed and joked and hit us with the word salad as if this wasn't serious at all. But you know where the real betrayal lies? The silence. For 4 years, she stood a heartbeat away from the desk of Joe Biden. She witnessed in firsthand the cognitive decline that we all saw on television sets and cell phones all over America. She looked the American people dead in the eye, much in the way I'm looking you in the eye right now, and told us that this man was sharp and fit and he was well qualified and well capable of being president. While the rest of the world saw the truth, she was busy lying, trying to save face, eyeing a presidential run in 2024. And she got exactly what she wanted, and she was obliterated by Donald J. Trump. It wasn't just a lie that Kamala told. It was an attack on our national security. Lying lips are an abomination to the Lord. That's what the Bible tells us. But in DC, they call it a communication strategy. Now, here's the part that really should piss you off. Despite the debt, despite the border, and despite the dishonesty, there are still fragments of the Democrat Party that are actually willing to line up to do it all over again. They're ready to sign up for the sequel to a very bad movie where the bad guy just won't die. They already walked out of this movie. They checked out, showing their disappointment, but yet they want to do it again. It reminds me of this scripture at the book of Proverbs, the 26th chapter, verse 11. As a dog returns to its vomit, so a fool repeats his folly. They are hungry for the same failed policies. Hell, I can't even call them failed policies. Kamala had no policies. And the same empty promises that the left has been using to lead them along, string them along for decades. They're hungry for these policies, but in the end, they will be left starving, as they always are. They say that insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. Well, guess what? It's your boy Defiant. And I call it like it is. This to me looks like a hostage situation where the hostages have fallen in love with their captors. Kamala is banking on you having a short term memory, which many of us do. But over here, we keep receipts. 2028 isn't a comeback for Kamala. The idea of her coming back is not just an idea, it is a threat. It's them telling you that they still do not respect your wishes. They still do not respect your choices, and they still do not feel you deserve anything better than what they've been offering you for all these decades. Constantly failing and failing and failing, and expecting you to just suck it up and take one for the team while they get richer than anyone has ever been in history. Stay woke, my friends, in the true sense of the word. Like me, stay defiant. And don't let the smoke and mirrors blind you from the math. Kamala, you've been tried and tested. And you, my sister, my fake sister who pretended to be black, you have been found wanting. Now, guys, why won't this girl just chill the hell out, man? This lady already done faked us out and lied to us talking about a black maid was her grandma. And then we found out it was a maid. It wasn't really her grandma. And then she quietly tried to walk it back. I never said that was my grandma. The girl already didn't try to fake us out talking about she washed collard greens in the bathtub. I mean, at this point, Kamala Harris is looking like the living embodiment of the personification of a damn humiliation ritual. She can't talk in front of cameras. She's not quick on her feet. All she gives is word salad. She's not hip. She's cringy as hell. Yet she just won't go away. Kamala, baby, honey, darling, you raised over $1 billion in campaign funding and still ended up in debt at the end of your campaign. And we know you pocketed some of that money, probably a significant amount of that money. You got paid. Why won't you just go away? Why won't you just leave the American people alone? Let the new leadership take their shot at it and let us decide on leaders who we don't know are total failures. Some of whom we do, like Gavin Newsom over in California. But why won't this lady just disappear and get out of our lives? Why is this lady linking up with Al Sharpton of all people to tell people, oh, I might run again? Who's going to nominate this woman to the president to run for the presidency? She basically got a shot because Joe Biden, couldn't tell which way was up. And she didn't go through a primary. So she basically got just what do you call it? She basically just got what do you call it when they crown a king? They basically crowned her and just put her in that position as the nominee for the Democrat Party, right? But the problem with Kamala is she's delusional. This woman thinks sucking her way to the top is the same as working hard to earn your position. As a matter of fact, once Kamala got to the point where she could no longer spread her legs to move up the ladder, if you notice, she's been failing ever since. Once she got to the point where she wasn't a DEI hire, Joe Biden literally said, my vice president is going to be a black woman. Once DEI is out of the way, once she can't sleep her way to the top, Kamala Harris falls apart like a used bicycle. She, in my opinion, I don't think this woman has ever earned anything that she accomplished, ever. I believe she's always used her looks and her Jezebel-like attitude to climb the ladder. And it shows at the highest levels. Because you're telling me you were this high-powered lawyer or prosecutor, right? But then when you get in front of a camera, you can't even string a sentence together. How, Sway? How? All of a sudden you've lost your ability to speak? But the reality is the Biden campaign will go down in history as the campaign of lies, smoke, and mirrors, where everything they told you it was, it wasn't. Where everything they said that they weren't. Biden told you he was capable, and he was fit as a fiddle, and he was challenging people to push-up contests and stuff. But behind it all, it was a senile old man who loved eating his ice cream and being led around by his wife, asking her, "What's today's date?" And an old, haggly, incapable, dishonest woman named Kamala Harris, who simply thought she should be crowned President of the United States because she had a funny laugh or a chuckle. She literally thought she was going to laugh and smile her way into the White House, y'all. Think about that. Kamala thought she was just going to give you that, like, that she's going to bat her eyes and show her teeth, and you're going to be like, you know what? She has my vote. And there were some of you idiots who gave her your vote. There were some people who were like, yep, that's enough for me. And that highlighted what a horrible situation our country is in. How this woman even felt qualified to get on the stage knowing, like, how do you get on stage to talk to a crowd of people knowing that you don't even have a policy. You don't have anything to offer them. But you're telling them, no, let me be the leader of the country. And I'm telling you, it was given, put me in charge because I'm black. Put me in charge so I could be the first black woman to be president. Kamala was riding on the historical ramifications of it. She wasn't riding on actual qualifications, her qualifications to be president. She didn't really care. It was just another job for her. You know, you ever had a friend who's always quitting jobs? So to them, a job is nothing. And when they see you working at your job 10, 15, 20 years, they look at you like you're dumb, like, man, this job, they see no value in it. That's how I felt about Kamala Harris. I don't feel like Kamala valued any elected position. Because if you ask me, every elected position she's ever had has been rigged. Every elected position she's ever had, I believe she got there because it was rigged in her favor. I mean, Kamala is the only person I've ever seen who's not Mexican, but beat a Mexican candidate in California in a landslide victory and got more Mexican votes than the Mexican did. And she was talking just how she was talking on that presidential stage. Straight up word salad. Kamala Harris is not qualified to be president, guys. I'm sorry. Y'all could call it what y'all want to. But this woman, right? She's literally just a face. And she's getting older, so she's becoming less of a face day by day. But she's trying to use the last ounce of beauty she got to try to achieve the most powerful position in the world. And I'm sorry, but I just don't trust this lady. I just cannot trust this lady. If you look at everything that's going on in the world, I know you don't trust her either. Do you really think Kamala can handle what's going on in the world right now? You can't beat Iran by chuckling and smiling and making up lies, lying about experiences that you had that you never had. You got to know something about geopolitical relationships. And do you really think Kamala knows anything, seeing as how she is directly responsible for starting the Ukraine war? Her and Joe Biden, but specifically her, because she went to Germany, got on stage, and kept encouraging Ukraine to join NATO? Even after NATO countries said Ukraine will never be a part of NATO? She doesn't care. She's not there because she's not trying because she loves the American people. She's only trying because she wants to have that on her resume. Yeah, I was president. She don't even care if she get one term. She just wants to be able to say, yo, I was president. She's trying to be president for all the wrong reasons, and I don't trust Kamala. I know she has a high capacity for evil, seeing as how I live in California, a place where she was attorney general, and she was one of the worst in history did so many things to target minorities and hurt black people. And now you guys want to put this chick in the presidency? Not while I'm alive. Let's check this out.
So are you going to run again in 28?
So, here, okay,
I tried to be subtle, but I just figured I'd go right
well,
at
that's as subtle as Reverend Al Sharpton could ever be. We love you for many things, but not being subtle.
She still sound drunk. Reverend Al Sharpton could ever be. She's still talking like a drunk granny. This lady is horrible. This lady is horrible. Nothing new. She's still not she's not clear-eyed. She's not like articulate. She's not speaking any clearer. She's still the same old Kamala. Just that response. Listen, she is who she is. You could say, well, maybe she didn't get a good opportunity because she only had 100 and whatever days, to build a campaign up. But at the end of the day's got to end. And this is who Kamala Harris is. This is who she is. She's not going to be able to change. She's not going to become a new person overnight. What you see is what you get. And what you see is not good enough to be the leader of this great country.
That's as subtle as Reverend Al Sharpton could ever be.
This lady, man.
We love you for many things, but not being subtle.
This lady.
Listen, I might. I'm thinking about it. But let me say this. Let me say this. I am thinking about it. But let me also say this. Look, I served for 4 years being a heartbeat away from the presidency of the United States.
Did she really serve? Kamala, did you really serve? Or did you just hide? Guys, if you remember Kamala Harris's stint as vice president, the woman was hiding for like 3 years of the presidency. She was literally in the vice president's mansion talking about the media is racist and they only coming after her because she's a black woman, even though she oversaw one of the largest influx of illegal criminal alien migrants the largest of any administration in history. She was a border czar, but never went to the border until she was pressured. And even after she was pressured, she still didn't go to the main area where illegal immigrants were crossing. She went to a town like many, many miles away from the main crossing point. She's a fraud, guys. She's a fraud, 100%. And she got beat in a landslide. I don't know why anybody would want to bring this corpse back from the dead to get up there and be like, she sounds like the damn coach. Was that the water boy? Where they had the crazy ass coach, couldn't nobody understand what he was saying. That's how she sounds. Just, man.
I spent countless hours in my West Wing office, footsteps away from the Oval Office. I spent countless hours in the Oval Office in the Situation Room. I know what the job is.
No, you don't. No, you don't.
And I know what it requires.
She doesn't.
I also know, one of the things that I've been doing, Rev, is I've been traveling the country the last year. I've been spending a lot of time in the South and many other places. And the one thing I'm really clear about also is the status quo is not working. And
oh, sorry. So yeah, this lady, I was looking at another video because I wanted to put the call-in link for these people on one side who are like, leave her alone. You're a bully. This is their response. This is the liberals' response to when you hold Kamala Harris accountable for a situation that she created. They want to make you out to be a bully. I don't know this lady. I don't have any personal animus towards her. I'm looking at the job she did as vice president or the job she failed to do, and I'm asking you a question as a liberal. Why would you want this person back? Why would you want this person back in a powerful position? One, well, she'd be president at this point. You cannot tell me, no one can tell me that they truly would trust Kamala Harris running the United States of America. If you say that, you're lying. If you say that, you're lying. Listen, man, instead of continuously asking this lady, is she going to run? Why don't they ask her how she would handle some of the things that are going on right now? Hey, Miss Harris, Vice President Harris, what would you do if you were in Trump's position with the current Iran situation? Would you have went in and bombed Iran? Would you be willing to negotiate? Would you have done a 2-week ceasefire to negotiate with the Iranian regime? These are the questions I want to hear asked. But you know, the media, they're always going to throw softball questions at these Democrat politicians. That's what they do. Because they know that if they ask her about something geopolitical and they get too specific, she's going to sound just like that idiot, Andrea Ocasio-Cortez over in Switzerland when they asked her basically about Iran. I don't want to hear, you, kissing her ass and glazing her. I want you to ask her tough, hardball questions like you asked the Republican candidates. It seems like the conservative candidates, every time they go for an interview, they have to be on point because they're going to ask questions where if they answer the questions wrong, it'll kill their campaign. But when you get these Democrats up there, they're asking these, are you considering another run? Maybe. Keep watching until next time. It's like an episode of Dragon Ball Z. You never know, like you're never going to actually get anywhere. They're going to keep trying to just push you to the next episode, the next episode, the next episode. My question is this. Please, let's ask this lady. If you couldn't even get 2% of the vote in any primary, hold on, guys, hold on. The question they need to ask Kamala is, if you couldn't get 2% of the vote in any primary, what makes you believe that you can garner enough of the vote going forward in a second run to actually receive the nomination? That's the question that needs to be asked. Douglas, you could keep, there's this guy Douglas, he's in the comments, it's almost hard to listen. Bro, just look, click the link, bro. Click the link, come up here and tell me where I'm wrong. You can't because you're a coward. These guys are the pussiest dudes on earth. But they're constantly trying to criticize somebody for just telling the facts about Kamala. She's not good. Please tell me, give me 3 policies of Kamala Harris. And don't include Trump's policies she stole. Give me 3 policies. Give me 2 policies that Kamala Harris outlined during her presidential run. Guys, in the audience, if you see people criticizing me, tell them to click the freaking link. Tell them to click the freaking link. They never will. They never will. This lady has no policies. And when I point that out, you guys, leave her alone. Look, man, we get it. Maybe you a big trick. Every woman is a virtuous angel to you. But we're not voting to elect virtuous angels. We're voting to elect people who are actually qualified to run the country. So we're voting for people who actually have what it takes to be president of the United States. But like I said earlier, the scripture at Proverbs, they're like dogs that'll go back to their own vomit. They know it's no good, but they'll go back and just lick it up just because. Yeah, look, man, shut up. Douglas, you sound dumb, bro. Tell us about the nuclear deal with Iran. I've given you the link countless. Listen, guys, this will be the 4th time that I've put the link in the comments for Douglas. But he's a coward, so he won't come up. He's a coward, so he won't come up. Oh, we had a nuclear deal. You don't even know what the deal was. You damn right I voted for a game show host, a very good game show host. You guys are arguing. That's funny. This lady is such a... I shouldn't even have covered Kamala Harris on this show because that's how unpopular she is. No one wants to watch anything that she's doing. No one cares. Even if... Look, bro, this was a bad topic, and I should have looked. It got posted by Forbes, and it only got 7,000 views. It got posted by Forbes, and it only got 7,000 views. No one likes this lady. Nobody. But they'll jump up to defend her because that's what the Democrat Party told them that they got to do. That's how you know you've been programmed. I don't even like her, but I'm just defending her because my Democrat daddy told me I have to. Ain't that ignorant as hell? Ain't that ignorant as hell? Pam Bondi's not running for president. This lady is so damn pathetic. But we need to move to some other news because do not let yourself get tricked into voting for Kamala Harris or even entertaining this idea that she's going to run for president. She's an idiot. She's a dimwit. She doesn't know. She can't even string a sentence together. Why in the hell would you vote for this lady? Let's be 100% real. But we're getting a new update. And it's basically saying that Iran is reportedly halting traffic from going through the Strait of Hormuz. I just want to make sure. Yeah, this is within the hour. This is crazy. I don't know what the hell is going on with Iran, bro. It's like they want it. Well, we know these people aren't that bright, so I get it. I really think it's just like a lack of intelligence on their part. At this point, I don't even think it's just like they're evil. I think they're just dumb as hell. Too many years spewing that same nonsense, and they're so brainwashed, they actually believe the nonsense that they're saying. Let's tap into this.
Let's look deeper at some of the major sticking points with Iran, including the Strait of Hormuz and Israel's attacks on Hezbollah, terrorists in Lebanon. Senior correspondent Mike Tobin is in Tel Aviv with that tonight.
With ships at anchor, the Iranian Revolutionary Guard spokesman posted, "We will keep the Strait of Hormuz closed." This after Israeli intelligence told Fox.
These people have so many claims. You call them, you give them the link, they come up, they can't prove any of them. That's why I'm low-key kind of done responding to these dudes, because it's like, you guys make claims, but you can't prove anything. Oh, Iran is making Trump look dumb. Bro, they're hiding in tunnels right now. How is the person who got you hiding looking dumb? You looking dumb because you in a tunnel and can't do nothing about it. Can't do nothing to stop them. Anyway, I'm done responding to y'all. Click the link.
Iran has been charging ships to transit the pivotal waterway, motivating President Trump's warning, they better stop now. No one has seen Mojtaba Khamenei since he became supreme leader of Iran, but a statement purporting to be from him was read on state-run media, claiming control of the strait.
We did not and do not seek war, but we will not give up our rightful rights.
Iran's demand for a ceasefire in Lebanon is not being met. Israel claimed today to have destroyed 200 rocket launchers and 1,300 launch tubes used by Hezbollah to fire rockets into Israel. Israel insists the offensive into Lebanon is separate from the ceasefire. The chief of general staff told the troops in South Lebanon the Jewish state will press on.
In Lebanon, we continue to deepen our achievements, and we are continuing to deepen our maneuver.
Meanwhile, large demonstrations forming in the region range from opposition to the peace talks between Israel and Lebanon to Iran-backed Houthis claiming victory over the United States. With 50,000 U.S. forces on standby to re-engage, negotiators en route to Islamabad, and a ceasefire already showing cracks, skepticism about any peace deal remains high.
This is what the Iranians do. They are masters at obfuscation and delaying negotiations.
Meeting Iran's precondition of a ceasefire in Lebanon is going to be a tall order. Hezbollah fired some 60 rockets into Israel today. Brett?
Mike Tobin live in Tel Aviv. Mike, thanks.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey.
Guys, listen. Let me tell you something. When you hear these people talking about Iran is defeating the U.S. and all that stuff, understand something. It's not that these people are intelligent. It's that these people are highly susceptible to propaganda. Anything they hear on the news that they believe goes against America, they believe it. When you condition your mind in that way, that hurts you. That doesn't hurt America. That makes you look like an idiot. I got a friend posting all this crap. Oh, Iran's defeating America. Da-da-da. America can't do nothing. This, da-da-da-da. Listen, I make a simple point to them. I make a simple point to this dude. If Iran's defeating America, why are American planes still flying all over Iran? Why hasn't Iran launched some planes up into the sky to chase America out of Iran? If they're defeating America, why are they even going to the negotiating table? If you are the victor, don't you set the terms for negotiation? If you're the victor, don't you get to say what is or isn't going to happen? I mean, just think about it. If you won, why is the United States telling you, look, man, you got until this point to open the strait? Why are they releasing freaking videos talking about, no, we're opening the strait? It's just some rogue IRGC generals who keep on firing and trying to attack. If you won, you don't got to say that. People who win come out and say, look, we won. We were victorious. It's on you guys. Now you got to surrender or whatever. You don't even see that. They were like, oh, we're going to charge a toll to go through the strait. Trump was like, that's cool as long as I get 50%. And they would pay 50% to Trump if that meant that they were going to be able to retain control over the Strait of Hormuz. But they won't. They won't. Why haven't they opened the strait? Hey, from what I saw, the strait, they're letting ships through the strait. I don't know what you're talking about. But everything, you guys are lying. Prove that the strait, listen, bro, $100, prove the strait is still closed. Please, please. Old times, I'm not delusional. You're just a liar. There are ships going through the strait. Like 5 or 6 ships passed through the strait today. And Iran released a thing saying, oh, because we planted mines in the Strait of Hormuz, the people have to coordinate with us so we can take them around the mines. No, I already proved you wrong. I've already proved you wrong many, many times. But here's what we do. Oh, that source is not credible. You're listening to propaganda. Then I say, okay, what source you guys want to go to? Y'all don't got one. We don't know. We don't know. They continue to lie. And then they say, but Iran's literally saying, yes, the strait is open. You have to coordinate with us because we've put mines in the strait. And we have to take the mines out. Until we're able to take them out, we need to guide you around the mines. That's open. Ships are going through. That's every news source. That's every news source. Either way, oh, if they close the strait, that means they won. No, the closing of the strait is an act of desperation. Because if the closing of the strait was an act if it was an act of weaponization initially, why didn't they just do that from the get-go? Hey, if you come bomb us, we'll close the strait. No, listen. You guys, I have literally called these people up here. These people literally never could even string two sentences together. They're like Kamala Harris. They literally will continue to tell you this, and that. Oh, Tucker Carlson, he said this about Trump. That. Guys, you want me to tell you something? Let me tell you what's funny. These are the same people who support Tucker Carlson and Candace Owens, right? But what's crazy is they used to call Tucker Carlson and Candace Owens idiots when they actually agreed with Trump. But once they started speaking against Trump, all of a sudden they're their Lord and Savior. Yeah, they're right. And it's like, why didn't they become right until they started saying what you want to believe? Why, when they were saying the truth about Trump's campaign versus Kamala's campaign, why were they idiots then? Right now, the Strait of Hormuz is bringing through 8 ships a day. 8 ships a day. That's how much they're bringing through. 8 ships a day. Iran is literally saying, we have naval mines in the traditional deep waters, in the shipping lanes. We're removing those mines. That's literally what they're saying. But it doesn't matter. I for one, I hope that no, America doesn't ship anything. We know that. These idiots know that. They know that America doesn't ship anything through the strait. But this is what they have to tell themselves so they can feel like America lost. IRGC is on its last leg, bro. They were shooting 1,000 missiles a day. How many did they shoot at Israel today? How many? If they won, they say Israel is evil. Why are they not shooting no missiles at Israel right now? If they won, they say, look, we can just go ahead and whoop Israel. We know that if Iran had a foothold, if they had an advantage, they would go eradicate Israel because that's what they want to do. Why haven't they done it? Because they got their ass whooped. Now they at the table trying to beg Trump not to get in that ass. That's the reality. They're at the table trying to beg Trump, please don't kick our ass. Let us save a little face. Let us keep a little bit of legitimacy. And Trump is like, dude, y'all keep playing. I'm going to come through, whooping feet again. And they're scared. But this is the left. These people will follow weakness. They follow weakness because it makes them feel strong. Following weak leaders in weak countries and rooting for weak, ignorant, backwards countries, that makes them feel strong and smart. I'm so strong because I support someone who's dumb. That make me smart. No. That makes you goofy. That makes you goofy as hell. But this is what we want. This is what they want. This is what you want. This is what you want. You can't laugh at us. MAGA is fine. MAGA is supporting Trump at 97%. We're good. 100%. You guys are the ones complaining. The people complaining are the ones who are suffering. Because if you ain't suffering, why are you complaining? The two go hand in hand. I feel sorry for you. I don't. Why you feel sorry for us? All we got to do is go to your liberal cities and see how everything is falling apart. This is what I tell everybody. Just ask them, who should you vote for instead? When you talk to liberals, that is how you kill the conversation. Just ask them, okay, you don't want me to support MAGA, you don't want me to support conservatives, you don't want me to support Trump. Okay, who should I support? They're going to get real quiet because they don't even know. You know why they don't know? Because the party hasn't told them who they're going to vote for yet. They don't choose leadership. They're told who to vote for. The Democrat Party chooses their leadership. And then they say, then this is what happened. The Democrat Party presents somebody to them and say, hey, this is who you're going to vote for. And then they figure out a way to do mental gymnastics to make themselves feel like they made the choice. You should support the American. I do support the American people. And I support the policies that help the American people. Tell me how voting for Kamala Harris helps the American people. Tell me how rooting for Iran to beat America helps the American people. It doesn't. It doesn't. None of it. None of it. You're losing all around. Iran is getting bombed. The Islamists in America, they're getting their asses sent up out of here. And there's nothing you can do about it. The Hispanics, illegal immigrants, they're getting deported. And there's absolutely nothing you can do about it. So you get on the internet
Islamic Society
to try to lash out and cope. And that's cool. But if I give you guys the link to come up, guess what? You got nothing to say. Because you know you lost already. You know you're sleazy. That's a good thing. Ralph Love, I'm glad you don't got your job no more. Your job was probably a useless government job where you wasn't doing nothing and didn't even have to show up to work. Right, Joshua. They love America. I should go over there. Well, guess what? Everything Kamala did hurt America. You don't love America. You love being right. But you're wrong on this one.
The Islamic Society of Milwaukee, and the federal government now has him locked up. The Society of Milwaukee just got done with a news conference. Jason Calvi with what they had to say, and Jason, his family was also there.
This whole room was packed with supporters, elected leaders, as well as religious leaders, all with questions and condemnation. The Islamic Society of Milwaukee's president is Salah Sarzour. ICE records show they've locked him up at the Clay County Justice Center in Indiana. The ACLU and Democrats condemn the arrest. That list includes Milwaukee Mayor Cavalier Johnson and Congresswoman Gwen Moore. The Islamic Society of Milwaukee says it happened Monday morning after the org's president, Salah Sarzour, left his home. They say he's been the volunteer president for 5 years and has lived in the Milwaukee area for 32. The center says he's a lawful permanent resident, and his wife and 6 children are U.S. citizens.
We will keep fighting for him until justice prevails, until he's out, reunited with his family, his grandkids, and the new grandkid that's coming up next week.
I think that you have to peel back the curtain just a little bit and actually look at the facts of Mr. Sarzour's history, and in fact the history of the organization that he is involved with even today.
That was a scholar at the George Washington University's program on extremism. Now here at the Society, they admit that Israel twice arrested Sarzour, including once as a teen. They say that's why the government, the United States government, claims it wants to deport him now. The Muslim Legal Fund of America is representing him. They say more than 10 federal agents surrounded Sarzour. The group has filed petitions in court to get this detainment reversed. In Milwaukee, Jason Calvi, Fox 6 News.
Boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. So we got to talk about Marco Rubio striking again when it comes to his crackdown against immigrants who came into the country by lying on their visa application.
Look, that guy's out of here. He's a legal permanent resident. No, he's a liar who lied his way into becoming a legal permanent resident. And now he's out of here. Guys, you guys can cry all you want to. Trump this, Trump that. That is all cope. You know what Democrats have done. You know the situation they created. You know the type of people they defend. The guy who killed the white lady on a train, stabbed her all up in her neck and killed her, talking about he killed her because she was white. They just ruled that guy isn't mentally fit to stand trial. He's mentally fit to kill, but he's not mentally fit to stand trial. Come on, man. Democrat policies created this type of mess. And guess what? Every time they win an elected seat, they make that place less safe. They want to make America like the UK, where grape gangs get to maraud around beating down women and attacking them. They're not going to be happy. And then when you point out like, hey, this or this happened, oh well, that wasn't me. They don't care. If it's not them or someone they know, they simply don't care. That's how they can reconcile voting for people like Kamala Harris in their mind. Let's talk about this situation. A gas station clerk in Florida was killed by a vagrant with a hammer for no reason other than trying to go out and help this person. And guess what? Black fatigue, y'all. He just so happened to be black.
Welcome back, everybody. An illegal immigrant accused of a brutal murder in broad daylight faces deportation to his native Haiti. We're learning he's been implicated in other crimes as well. And by the way, that attack is so vicious, we're not showing you the full video this morning. But Fort Myers, Florida police say that this video shows Robert Joaquin walking up to a gas station clerk and hitting her with a hammer multiple times. Joining me now is Republican North Carolina Congressman Mark Harris. I paused there because it just takes your breath away, Congressman, even when the video is paused and you don't see it in full. What's been your reaction to this killing of a 51-year-old mother and store clerk out of Florida, especially that he was granted temporary protected status, which expired in 2024?
Yeah, Marky, it's just another tragedy that we're seeing again and again and again at the hands of illegal immigrants. And, you know, you have cases not only there, but other places. A young man that was killed by an illegal immigrant earlier this week. I saw the report. And it's just, again, a tragedy that we keep seeing that is so unnecessary. And the fact that we've got to make sure that we have things in place, policies in place that are not more concerned about protecting the illegal immigrant or the violent criminal than they are protecting innocent Americans. And this is just another tragedy.
Congressman, I'm curious, is it also a breakdown in law enforcement checkpoints as well? Because Joaquin's arrest report indicates police had detained him on March 24th, just weeks before this brutal killing, after finding him with a stolen backpack. I'm wondering if there's a disconnect with law enforcement locally as well.
Well, I think there's not only a problem there, but I think probably in the judiciary system. I mean, I can't speak to that specific situation with the police there, but I do know what happened in Charlotte with Irina Zarutska and DeCarlos Brown, and that situation where a magistrate simply released this person back out on the streets, and they were able, and really I thought about that when I saw the video that you stopped, because this person just came out of nowhere with this hammer and killed this innocent victim, just like DeCarlos Brown did, pulling a knife out, coming up from behind her and stabbing her in the throat. And again, where the system breaks down is when you have people that we are allowing back out on the streets instead of keeping them incarcerated.
And I know, just speaking of that DeCarlos Brown Jr. case, you know, it was just found, a judge ruling he's mentally incompetent to stand trial. I'm curious what justice looks like in this case for your state. And have you spoken to the president on the matter? And less than a minute left, sir.
Well, it is going to be fascinating what's going to happen. There is a federal case as well as the state case. And what you referenced is a state judge did say, or the study found, that he was unfit to stand trial. The federal case is still progressing. Important thing to understand is they, of course, are saying he has schizophrenia, but that is going to be treated. Hopefully he will get to a point that he will be able to stand trial. But again, it's a breakdown in the system that we've got to make sure that we have policies in place to protect citizens and keep these folks incarcerated. And that's going to be an important thing for legislators to think about going forward.
Congressman Mark Harris, I have to end it there. It's always a pleasure to talk to you, but unfortunately, I'm sorry it's under these circumstances this morning.
Yeah, see, this is, it's like the Democrat voters are so immature. You can't even ask them like, yo, what exactly are you guys trying to accomplish? What type of society are you trying to create? Because they'll tell you, oh, we want a fair, free society. But is a society fair when people can't even catch a train without getting killed? Where a woman can't even go do her job at a gas station without getting brutally murdered with a hammer by a Haitian immigrant? What's free about that? It seems like you want to give freedom to everybody who comes into the country illegally while stripping the American people of their freedom. And this is why we have a disconnect. See, I believe that most people have more things in common than things they don't have in common, right? But when you got one side of the aisle that is totally dishonest about their motivations and their reasons for doing certain things, there can never be a conversation. The conversation can't even start. If you ask them, they don't even know how this benefits them. They just know they support it because the Democrat Party told them to. That's it. Why are people who are repeatedly committing violent crimes getting released from jail? Oh, Brandon, because George Floyd. So we all got to suffer because George Floyd got killed. Yeah, George Floyd's death was a tragedy. But now my kids have to be less safe because y'all done defunded the police and empowered the criminals over George Floyd. It really just doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense at all. It's sad and it's pathetic. That woman did not deserve to lose her life. This woman did not deserve to lose her life because somebody decided they want to keep letting criminals run free. I don't know if you guys watched this whole video. If you haven't watched it, go check it out, man. She walks out to ask the dude, hey, what's wrong with you? Bro walks up, pulls out a hammer, and hits her in the head. Bam. She died. I think she might have died instantly. But bro, like, hit her a couple more times to really just make sure she was gone. But these people that keep telling you, we care about the Epstein files. How do you lie and say you care about the Epstein files and the victims in that, but you have no remorse for the victims who are dying every day at the hands of these animals? This has everything to do with George Floyd. This has everything to do with George Floyd because his death is what started the ignorance where they were like, oh, defund the police. Release all the criminals from jail. And now dudes like this guy, this led to the soft on crime policies. This led to the decriminalizing of a lot of things, which keeps repeat offenders on the street. But everything is just a lie. Game recognized game. What's the deal, bro? Long time no see. Long time no see. Why you blaming George Floyd? Because it's his damn fault. Yeah, the police did get defunded, fool. Where you live? Where you live, the police did get defunded. In many states, the police took a huge hit to their funding. Zohran Mamdani is defunding the police right now in New York City as we speak. Yes, Black Loki, he is a repeat offender who has done other heinous crimes, and this is why everyone is asking, why was this dude even out of jail? Why was this dude even out of jail? Nobody knows. Nobody knows why. Oh, because we just didn't want to keep him. It's stupid, man. These guys, they need to bring back the 3 strikes law. Your ass get 3 strikes, your ass just stay in jail. Fuck it. Shout out to my boy Sucker Season LA. Salute, bro. Keep going up. Man, I'm working on it. Man, what's up, Game Recognized Game, all the way from Northern Cali? Hey, guys, also remember, if you want to suggest topics for me to discuss, just send them to my email. Just send them to my email. I'm always looking for, because I'm realizing a lot of these dudes, they're getting like people who hit them up every day with topics to discuss. I need some of that. I need some of that. So, oops. I put the wrong email. Delete comment. Yeah. You guys can hit me up at my email. And we could discuss. You guys could throw me some topics. Actually, damn, you know what? Somebody did suggest a topic. Let me see. Damn. I got to look this up real quick. There's one topic I definitely got to cover. Because I forgot my girl had hit me. And she sent a contribution on top of that for me to discuss this. And I don't remember discussing it. Right here. Okay. Oh, okay, yeah. So guys, listen. Have you guys heard about this humongous fraud situation that's going on with these people in Cali? Have you guys heard about this? This guy, Nick Shirley, this guy's the GOAT of all time when it comes to investigative journalism. He's literally exposing things that are so blatantly obvious. The fraud is so acute that we're looking at the media outlets in cities and states around America, and we're just asking ourselves, like, what have you guys been doing this whole time? Like, what's the point of having CBS and NBC and Fox and all this stuff when their investigative journalists don't investigate anything? All they want to do is talk bad about Trump and try to gaslight the public. They're letting all types of crazy stuff go on right under their nose. Let me talk about the doctors. Hold on. So this took place in Los Angeles, where a bunch of doctors and nurses were arrested for engaging in massive fraud. Massive fraud. Now, remember, Gavin Newsom told us that this wasn't happening. If you remember, Gavin Newsom told us, oh, this is not happening. We've been investigating fraud. We do everything we're supposed to do to keep fraud from happening, and all these lies he always tells. But it's like, Gavin, if it's not happening, then why are there doctors and nurses going to jail for it?
A major healthcare fraud investigation here in Southern California. Defendants built the U.S. out of more than $50 million. That's according to the U.S. Department of Justice, saying doctors and nurses were arrested today. Eyewitness News reporter Annabelle Munoz has the details.
The FBI provided this video, part of a series of search and arrest warrants conducted across Southern California this morning over suspected health fraud, including in hospice care.
These defendants recruited beneficiaries who were not terminally ill and paid them to pose as patients receiving hospice care.
Damn.
Medicare then paid millions of dollars, hundreds of millions of dollars, on false and fraudulent claims submitted by fraudsters.
Among the 8 people arrested, a Covina couple. The Justice Department says 66-year-old psychologist Gladwin Gill and his wife, a registered nurse, operated a fraudulent hospice business out of Glendale.
This particular hospice submitted more than $5.2 million in fraudulent claims, and Medicare actually paid out more than $4 million.
Mr. Gill's attorney told Eyewitness News he denies the allegations and looks forward to his day in court. Asaili was joined by Dr. Mehmet Oz, head of the Center for Medicare and Medicaid Services.
We're going to review every single hospice in California to make sure that they're all appropriate, and we hope to do that expeditiously. We'll do it this year.
During the news conference, federal authorities were asked about this video California Governor Gavin Newsom said his office was reviewing back in January. Oz, who's Turkish American,
This is not, this is very common. I live in California. I live in Long Beach. That's probably from Glendale. That's probably like 30 minutes away. I'm about 30 minutes away from Glendale. This is very common. You go to the Valley, Reseda, Panorama City, Universal City, Burbank, where they film all the porn. This is common. You will see a lot of like Turkish people, Persians. You will see a lot of like Russians, different races. These dudes are rolling around in Mercedes, Maseratis, Lamborghinis, all this. You ask them what they do for a living, they'll never tell you because they're doing this shit. They're doing all fraud. It's not even in LA County. So, well, it's in LA County, but it's like in the Valley though. That's like a kind of like a different like area. It's an area that like, if you don't live there, you don't go there, right? So they set up a lot of stuff over there because it's a part of LA that I would say is not frequently like visited by like inspectors and people who come to make sure you're up to code and all that. It's kind of like an area that people forget about a lot. You should go to Burbank. It's great. It's great. It's great. It's great. It's great. It's like this is being called the Great Deception. That's what they're calling this now. The Great Deception.
in front of an Armenian-owned bakery in Van Nuys, alleging widespread fraud in the area. Asaeli confirmed none of the defendants named today were connected to that video. Dr. Oz responded to the outcry that his accusations, which the business owner denounced as false, were discriminatory.
I was stating the facts as they've been explained to me, and we have a lot of evidence of where the fraud is just looking at the numbers.
Oz did not provide any evidence against a specific business in connection to that video. Today, he suggested half of LA County hospice care facilities are fraudulent, pointing to survival percentages as evidence.
World experts at CMS say if you've got 100% or near survival, certainly if you've got a survival over 50% for a population that's supposed to pass in 6 months, you've got a problem.
Governor Gavin Newsom responded to the accusations the state has not done enough, saying in part, the Trump administration, home of the biggest fraudsters on earth, is trying to blame California for issues with their federal programs. His press office said California has taken action for years, including suspending more than 280 licenses and banning new ones. Annabelle Munoz, ABC 7 Eyewitness News.
Please, they're not suspending crap. If you're willing to donate to their campaigns, they're totally fine with letting you commit fraud. They don't care. But see, the whole problem here is that they're trying to blame all this on Trump. Oh, because Trump's war, and they could be giving universal health care. They could be this and this and that. Oh, it's the situation in Iran. No, bro. If you truly wanted universal health care, all you would need to do is address the healthcare fraud that's going on in this country. That money alone would be able to fund some type of free subsidized health care. Because there's so many billions. They found $146 billion worth of fraud in California. Straight up. But the crazy thing is, while you and me, we're out here struggling, right? We're dealing with the rising cost of health care, the cost of living, right? We're doing it the right way. We're going to work every day. We're putting our time in. Whole time, it's like no matter how much we put in, the price just keeps going up and up and up and up and up. That's because of fraud. That's because of fraud. Because every time, for every little bit you put in, they steal 10 times that amount. So you're always in the negative. But you don't want to deal with that. The people of California, I'm here. We don't want to deal with that. You know what we want to do? We want to go get in the street and do no kings protest. No kings. Like, bro, fuck the kings, bro. What about these fraudsters who are robbing the country blind, and we have to foot the bill? We have to get taxed double and triple what we should be getting taxed because we have to make up for the massive fraud that's going on. These individuals, they basically go on the dark web to buy people's personal information. That's what they're doing. They buy their personal information, and then they'll put these people down, mark these people down as being in hospice care. They're about to die, right? And what they'll do is they'll start billing medical companies or Medi-Cal, right, which is our California state medical agency. They'll start billing Medi-Cal for these patients, and these people aren't even sick. The people don't even know that they're enrolled in these hospices. They don't even know anything about it. And then you have licensed doctors and nurses, people who we should be able to trust. They're the ones at the root of this. They're the ones at the heart of this. As if, because you just being a doctor, you're going to make money. But that's not enough. They got to be corrupt and greedy at your expense. They got the audacity to abuse their trusted position to steal like common thugs. And I promise you, if you look at the doctors, I bet you the overwhelming majority of them are like minorities. I bet you the overwhelming majority of them are minorities. They fight to get into America. They want to get into America. They're given an opportunity they would never have in their own country. And what do? They come to steal. They come to steal. And then when the federal agents move in, they holler racism. And I don't know if you guys know this, but that like racism accusation, that is something that a lot of minority doctors use against the medical companies. Oh, you just don't want to pay because I'm a black doctor. You don't want to pay because I'm an Armenian or an Egyptian or a Filipino doctor. And the agencies get so scared of a lawsuit, they just shell your money out to these people. It's really disgusting and it's really pathetic. But guys, I got to get out of here. I got a wedding to go to tomorrow, and I still got to go buy me some shoes. So love all y'all. See y'all tomorrow. Whoa, not tomorrow. I won't see you tomorrow. We'll be back either Sunday or Monday. I know you guys will miss me, but I got to go do hood rat stuff with my cousins. I'll holler at y'all later. Thank you so much for watching this. I appreciate everything you do for me in the channel. Till the next time, take care of yourselves. But more importantly, please take care of each other. Peace.